Hello everybody, my name is Troublemaker,
And I'm Rangroot.
and this is the 3v3 tournament of Glorious Design.
Indeed it is, and today on the NATO side we have Yugoslavian, Randomletters, and Calle, who are representing Bork.
And on the Pact side, we have Steel Balalaikas with Serega, Valentine, and KneNasis.
And the map today I believe is Vastabutin. I'm just going to check real fast again. Yep, Vastabutin, I am correct, on a NATO versus Pact engagement.
But the flags are going down pretty early to indicate flanks, but nothing to indicate strategy.
Yeah, just where people are going to be going, it seems. Seems like Steel Balalaikas going for the top side. Didn't do a bit of a flank into Juliet, maybe. It's a pretty smart idea, because they do have Echo as a spawn point.
Oh, I know, yes. Okay, I had it backwards. I was looking at the map and like, oh yeah, he put a flag down from Juliet, so clearly he's going to defend Juliet, but no, that was the aggressor. Putting a defense flag down. So let's see if he has the appropriate vehicles, because you need speed.
Yeah.
For that kind of maneuver.
Yeah, you have the road which really leads you directly to so you need 150 km/h road units to make most advantage of that, or helicopters.
Yeah, but when the road's as straight as this, the helicopter advantage just ends up not being as persistent as it would be on a larger map with more windy roads. I was actually surprised when we were watching the WTF Steel Balalaikas match, I think it was.
Yeah.
They both use a lot of helicopters, and it just seems weird on this particular map, which has very short, very few windy roads. It seems like a tank and vehicle map.
ATGMs, it's ATGM heaven on this map, because of all the open range terrain and the few forests that you can put ATGM infantry in, they can completely shut down entire flanks, just making it so powerful.
Both sides going for some ridiculous amount of helicopters. Yugoslavian has 20.
Yeah, it's a lot of gazelle cannons and lynxes. Very classic infantry rush into the town, it's going to seem.
And on the Steel Balalaikas side, we're seeing overall a lot less units.
I think it's a little bit slower to deploy, but those Hinds are pretty expensive, especially for VDV inside. It's like 20 point for the VDV, 55 point for the Hind. So you usually can't get as many. Well, as you see here, those lynxes and Dorniers and gazelles are cheap as chips.
And that's the kind of metagame we're in. 20 points is just too much for us.
And they're probably going to be bringing out a MiG spam, because they are packed. So they most likely spent a bit of their money on MiGs.
And it's always going to be a little bit risky, especially on this map, because we're so short. The chance of getting hit by AA is very, very high, because normally you deploy your MiGs to try and wipe out some helicopters, and then, since the AA you're supposed to be so far away, they can't touch you. It's kind of free kills, but in this one, it's really close.
The best thing to do to avoid AAO is to go around the huge outside areas of the map, and maybe try and bomb a few areas that way. Don't fly directly in, because, as Troublemaker said, it is pretty short range and very close objective to objective, making AA quite potent.
Oh, here comes our MiG spam.
Hey, MiG-23 MLDs, MiG-21 bitters, the whole kazam.
Yeah, everyone seems to have their own choice here. MiG-23 Miles, popular, 2 of them, and MiG-21 with another one. And
MiG's gonna go in. No, they're not gonna go in. They're not gonna dedicate. They're just gonna circle around a little bit. Wait for the helicopters move up a little bit away from AA. And they are going to strike.
Can't get away.
That's a huge cluster of helicopters, so they will be able to take out a few in that swarm, but I think they're most likely just going to be safety in numbers. Oh no, yeah, here's the Hinds. I take everything back. The gazelles just getting shot down. Hinds landing, the VDVs in the town. Those lynxes are in a hot LZ.
Oh, that was a bad deployment for Yugoslavia, and just lost everything to those VDVs.
Yeah. Hinds just not even runts. Basically, it's just trying to helicopter spam, I think, as NATO is very hard now because of just the amount of MiGs in the Hinds. The Hinds absolutely wreck enemy transports.
4 Skyhawks.
Or Skyhawks. And four. Bloody hell. You have to do a bit of damage, to be honest.
And here's 3 Corsairs. So heavy on the bombers.
Oh, damn.
Unfortunately, all the MiGs have been deployed. Now, interesting little thing here. The northern flank here on wheels, it's as fast for Serega to get there as it is for Random Heart, the NATO side. So, pretty damn short travel path here. Oh my god, Huey. Will this actually do anything? Nope. Okay. Just had to see, because that would have been a crazy turn of events. And this flank is becoming probably more than Randomletters has to deal with this. Too much anti-air, not enough actual tanky vehicles here.
Yeah, he has 2 M19 Abrams, which could do a bit of damage. Yeah, I think those M1s will be able to hold off quite well, as Valentine's force and Serega's going into Juliet is just a lot of T-34s and infantry.
A lot of Conquerors. I mean...
Oh, I didn't see those.
Yeah, that's the big determiner for me. Like, those tanks are cannon fodder. They're there to soak some damage, but the Conquerors, ooh.
Yeah, Skyhawk, that Skyhawk's going to be quite useful in knocking out the Concours. They can just swoop in, reload in 15 seconds, and hit those infantry targets in the open.
Well, especially with the complete lack of anti-air. There's an OSA finally popped in, the AKM variant.
Yeah.
And here comes the Corsairs and Skyhawks. Oh my god, this could be the
this is like ESF.
Going straight for the infantry.
And Napalm being dropped. That infantry definitely on a high rate to hell.
Ooh.
Gonna be burning right to the ground. It's fire puns, so you can't stop me.
That was really stopped the plan here for Serega.
Lots of Delphins, lots of Napalm counter-attacks from Steel Balalaikas.
Freedom Fighter goes down. That was a big kill for the cheap MiG-21. And this will allow them to grab position. They won't be able to do as much as they had planned for the original attack, but they will be able to at least grab position. Might even get this Bradley IFV.
Yeah, it was Dev, because if you do get a little bit closer, RPGs could do a bit of damage. Yep, knocking out Run. Can they knock out the other Bradley? Maybe.
And those are some of the more expensive vehicles in the game as well.
That's the 50-point Bradley, which is very expensive.
Yeah, and there's like this positioning is just really good right now for Serega, putting himself in a position where he could potentially knock out this point, and that would give them a +1 advantage.
Yeah, and that one, just hold on to the point and sail to victory. Oh, A10 coming in from Randomletters. Brilliant.
The Thunderbolt.
Is he going to go in full gun run? What's he going to do?
It's backed off.
Oh, he's evacing in the MiGs on its tail.
And it's gone down. Goodbye, Thunderbolt 2. But now these pushes here, these bombings have been too effective. Actually wiped out most of the AAM area, and the T-34s are moving up on the Abrams. Like, this is weird.
Those T-34s don't really stand a chance, show.
Yeah, their guns just bounce off.
Oh, he's still charging. Yeah, one of the Abrams can't use it. Oh, is that a firing computer reset or the machine gun? Yeah.
And
so yeah, they'll still have their guns.
Yeah, that'll give them one more shot, basically, that'll bounce off, and then there you go.
Yeah. Yeah, Abrams suffered a bit of damage, but they are still basically okay. Oh, Limb's coming in, trying to go for CV and Leopards. And CV does manage to barely survive.
And Limb, of course, is basically like the Pact version of the Skyhawk. It's cheap, it shoots, and you can spam them. Like, it's
a little great unit.
Yeah, it's something that most Pact players have figured out pretty fast, like, get a Limb.
Yeah, get a Limb.
And these supply lines are not looking so good. They've actually been reinforcing with more anti-air units because they just have not been able to hold on to them. And Command actually having to get fully pulled from that base.
Yeah, and that MiG-23 strafing the command almost gets it. Not entirely. More Skyhawks coming in from random letters.
And a few good Skyhawk hits could,
knock out the ATGMs. All at AA.
Which was the bigger hit, and one Skyhawk goes down, but it traded itself pretty well.
Yeah. Skyhawk 4-0 is always a pretty good trade. And these Abrams only run Abrams left alive, just getting bombarded with ATGMs and RPGs, and decided do go down. And I think, it definitely seems like Bork will be losing Juliet. They just don't really have anything in here to stop him.
And they're moving their command back in, but there's actually a recon unit in the southern part moving in to try and intercept it.
If he can just get a good RPG shot to the side of that command vehicle, he could knock it out.
Turn of the Thunderbolt.
Thunderbolt coming in. What's he going to do? He's going to evac, but he's going to get an ATGM off and knock out a supply truck.
But he once again gets destroyed.
Oh.
And looks like command does in fact go down. So +1 bleed for Steel Balalaikas. They've solidified their position at the Juliet base, and this is gonna be really hard to get back now.
This is definitely a turn of events from the WTF from a Steel Balalaikas match, because it was on this exact same side, but it was an opposite push from Juliet into Echo.
Well, the one in the WTF didn't even make sense. They were rushing a reinforcement point.
And they managed to take it, which was crazy good of them. And it seems like Steel Balalaikas learned from their mistake and moving up this side, realizing we have a reinforcement point, we can reinforce quickly, and we can easily attack into Juliet if we get crap tons of ATGMs and cheap tanks. And they're doing that really well. Props up to them.
Oh, and just the numbers is ridiculous.
Yeah.
This is one person's units. Well, sorry, two. There's Valentine has a few...
mixed in, but not too much.
1975 weak crap units for Bork.
It does seem like still Serega in his push is bringing out more of the heavy stuff, while Valentine is being very meat-sealed with his T-34s and infantry units. So pretty good mix of different type of decks, yeah.
Yeah, if they can grab these forward wooded positions, they can make it so that, with just the amount of AT they have here, they can make it so that there's absolutely no way for Bork to re-grab this position.
And it's going to be definitely hard to capture again. Especially in Bork, don't really have many units. There's a bunch of leopard runs trying to assault in his position. A bit of a... not entirely too much. Like to know the rest of the map, Steel Balalaikas haven't even captured Go for Foxtrot yet, which they could do very easily. Bring up their point counter to +4. Which would be a huge advantage.
So they have two infantry have completely run around the long backside. There was actually no spotter there for Bork, and they might be able to get a command kill. They've grabbed all 3 FOBs right now, and there's nothing here.
Oh my god.
This is brutal. Wow. This is their only reinforcement point. Literally, if they lose this point,
they lose.
Bravo.
They have Bravo still. A little bit down bottom, they have Bravo. So
righto.
Not entirely, but they do lose their air. They do lose their airplane area if they do lose Bravo. Oh, Cobra's coming in, yo.
Good choice.
Hydra missiles and Falcon cannon fire. Maybe try and knock out that Strackley. They're running from the forest. Yep, squad's going to go down, and the other one is just hightailing it. But the Cobra does not leave any survivors alive.
And now, he's kept that last infantry alive. He's not going to be able to do too much with it. Just kind of harass a little bit.
Yeah, and there goes somewhat Strackley. Boom. Hydra missiles.
That's unfortunate. It gave the limb a position, so the limb's going to go in for the all-in, and both go down.
F-15 coming in to intercept. Takes out Run. Order 2 Roland takes out the second. Good interceptor.
And, that's pretty brutal. They have the position now. They can artillery it. There's a helicopter actually going after a command. That's brutal. They have 2 positions of 2 commands on the map now, so they can pull out a ridiculous amount of artillery and just spam attack those 2 locations.
Now, it does seem like he's going to move his CV in hotel so it doesn't get artilleried. Yeah, he's moving it to the other forest, which is pretty smart. Though it isn't allowing Steel Balalaikas to gain a bit of a bleed advantage.
That's a 2-point base, oh yeah. And I'm actually surprised that Steel Balalaikas aren't rallying at more commands, because they could grab the one of the middle bases.
And that'll just bring out, and it'd make them run faster, obviously.
But they're just trying to win this on position and tactics. They're continuing this push in the north. They actually have their tanks pushing back all these low-grade leopards. And here comes the big gun, the Leopard 2.
Leopard 2A run. The other bunch of it's T-64 BMs are low in ammo, good god. They really need some resupply.
Oh yeah, and these kind of pushes are very much all-in-ish, and one of them only has like 4 bullets left that can actually do any damage. And then it's all anti-infantry weaponry.
Yeah, you might want to resupply him a little bit. Because those are pretty big killers if they do have the Cobra missiles. It is just, he's moving right in. Oh, A-10's going to come in for counterattack. Takes out Ron T-64. Oh, this is going to knock it out.
And there it goes.
Yeah, it goes.
Funny thing about these airplane crashes, if an airplane crashes where one of your units is, your unit automatically dies. Like,
Just gets crushed.
It's like getting hit with all the armaments that thing carries all at once.
Fireball. I know a few times when like I see a plane crash and it knocks out an AA unit of mine.
It's very upsetting.
Or CVs. Sometimes it does happen to CV, very rarely, but when it does, it's a very sad affair.
So I guess, Bork's been taking some notes. They've actually moved a recon up north, which is where the 3 infantry squads had kind of snuck around. And it looks like they killed a command in Juliet, so, I mean, they're carving some small victories.
Yeah, I don't see the command in Juliet anywhere.
I don't know how they...
They're bringing up Runner at the moment, Valentine.
And, lots of big, heavy tanks coming here from Calle and Randomletters, which is the unit of choice for this particular map. And
Cobras as well, STRVs, Leopards, Abrams. Lots of NATO heavy hitters to try and defend the India flank. Jaeger 2s as well.
Now, all these units are going to do very, very good in this giant open field. The AA has been moved all the way to the back and not going to be in a position to deal with these Cobras. Because, there's no place to actually field many units on this giant open space. There's 2 hedgerows, and that's it.
They are bringing up a TATU CV into Juliet now. They definitely want that point is captured. Keep bringing a TATU. That's like 250 at TATU CV. It's just really bloody expensive. Like the most expensive unit you can get in game. So they are definitely wanting to hold on to that. Also, it's the T-80, which kicks serious ass against enemy units.
Yeah, just every tank dies to that command. It's a little ridiculous.
It's a command tank that you could use as a frontline unit.
I think it's actually... Its armaments are better than the T-80. I don't think they're actually better than the T-80.
I think it's exactly the same, I believe.
Yeah.
So it's just it can cap places now. But yeah, just great unit nonetheless. So we're going to be putting that into Juliet to hold that out.
The K designation does not really add anything to it. Maybe there's like a place for the officer to sleep or something, or a radio station. But yeah, it's a part of the kind of tactics and strategy of most standard play. You put 2 commands on one base, and that way if you ever get an extra one, you can immediately place a command on it. Or if you lose one to random artillery or random, you get a backup. Yeah,
it's just backup, a little bit of a failsafe, yeah. It's always smart to have 2 CVs in an area, especially if it's going to be pretty hotly contested. It's, as you can see, lots of fighting going on in Juliet.
Yeah, and this is absolutely brutal. I mean, all the tanks and vehicles of Bork here have been pulled back, and they're trying to find a good place to put them, and there's really not many.
But Steel Balalaikas, they can sort of outrange all of Bork's units, because they have a lot of Concords on the ground, ATGMs, those T-64s have ATGMs as well. So they can pick off these SCRVs and Leopard 2s from afar.
Yeah, and it's good on this Abrams position. It's hitting at a flanking position there.
Oh.
And of course, to newer players in the game, the way you shoot matters. If you get a side shot or a rear shot, you get weak points on tanks, which gives you critical damage.
Tons of damage. You can like one hit kill a lot of tanks if you hit him in the rear.
Yeah, that was the original way when the T-80U was like the super invincible tank. The way you actually had to kill it, because nothing would kill it, was to hit it from the side.
Or spend a lot of money on ATGM planes as suicide into it. Which wasn't really too effective.
No.
But I still done it anyway.
Those were the days when Pact were strong. Those days are returning, thankfully.
Yeah. It's a balancing act. Yeah, so Steel Balalaikas +5. They're doing very good at the moment. Actually knocked out the CV and Bravo and completely overran it.
Oh my god, that's 3 14 points. That's something we completely missed.
Game, lots of things go on.
How they did it was through middle, though. They ran straight through middle. They have a command on both middle bases now. And if they can get a command onto Bravo...
Good game.
That's everything. Like, there's nothing left. All of the forces for Bork are around India right now.
Just doing an epic final stand. They are kind of getting their asses kicked.
Yes, they certainly are. And
Freedom Fighter coming out.
This could be like the last of planes, these two Freedom Fighters, because I've been noticing they haven't had as much Napalm as usual, and their Skyhawks are mostly all gone.
Yep. I think they mostly got shot down by the Osas, which Steel Balalaikas have in the bucketfuls.
Oh, yeah.
It was AKMs, just really good solid AA defense, pretty good range, but rapid fire rate. You can usually get up to 3 missiles off on a plane, which will usually run and kill it.
And they've been managing their own planes pretty well. They've always had a nice supply of these MiG-21s and MiG-23s, so it's just, these guys are very, very exceptional.
I'd also like to note how they use them, because early on they didn't just rush them into the helicopters. They let the helicopters get a bit ahead of... They let Bork's helicopters get ahead of AA, so the MiGs to just go in scot-free without being touched by the Ihawks or the Rolands, and then pick off a few helicopters and evac instantly to keep them alive. Where a lot of MiG spam I usually see, it's pretty suicidal.
Yeah, well, it's hard not to. It's like a 20 or 30 point vehicle. Like, anything you kill, you suddenly win. In destruction, at least. In Conquest, it's actually quite terrible.
And +5, it should be over in like a minute or something.
Yeah, less than a minute.
Yeah, just good play all round from Steel Balalaikas, just moving right into Juliet ASAP, taking advantage of the Echo respawn route, and just completely hammering it with brute force till they got it.
And that's why when WTF actually beat them, it was a shocker, because these guys they're phenomenal players. Like, for someone to beat them in the way that WTF did is just weird and ridiculous.
Because if people didn't see WTF match, WTF with NATO, and they were on Juliet side, they moved all the way down the road into Echo, which was controlled by Steel Balalaikas, and it also has a spawn point then, and they just did it with complete tank force numbers. And it was really, really cool to see. I highly advise you watch it. But yeah, match over.
Yeah, and as expected, Steel Balalaikas was totally dominating on the kill-death ratio. And,
good God. This is like Serega, like 3,000 to 700. That's... I'd kill for it on Call of Duty.
That's the T-64s. He didn't lose many of them.
Kept them pretty well alive and just completely overwhelmed the NATO position.
Whereas you can see the difference with Valentine, who had the Category C pre-1975 deck. His losses were massive. He was the bulk that kept everything alive. Yeah,
he was the meat shield for Serega to get all the kills off. Pretty smart move, having a guy be meat sealed and then the other guy doing a more heavy push tactics. Cat C Pact is starting to become really viable. And that's all we have time for. I'm Rangru.
And I'm Trollmaker.
Take it easy.